The mid-20th century utterly transformed the United States as waves of growth, prosperity, and globalization rushed across the North American continent, deeply changing America's legacy while devastating its urban industrial core. As the potent promise of a new suburban America cut off the roaring industry of key U.S. cities, as the masses fled once booming cities for the freedom of new highways being built all over the nation. Of course, the suburbs were more an idea than a specific place. This idea that anyone could have a big green lawn, a modern kitchen, and a reliable automobile capable of making the world a smaller place. But today, nearly 80 years later, the suburbs, or suburbia, is a specific place, the state of New Jersey. The modern version of New Jersey, where the state has become almost completely suburban, wasn't how things started, and it didn't happen by accident. Structurally, it came from the same federal policies, like the Montgomery GI Bill, the FHA loans program, and a highway system that cut through urban America. But for New Jersey, once an original 13 colony turned important industrial and population center, the pivot to becoming America's commuter core was a strategic necessity. As the post-war collapse of manufacturing America suddenly halted decades of growing success in these states, pushing production and whole populations into nearly a century of devastating decline. But while other historical industrial states, places like Michigan and Ohio, rusted away as their employees left, New Jersey grew and grew wealthier. That's because its valuable proximity allowed New Jersey to skip a lot of economic and population pain, pivoting to be a bedroom for New York City while sitting in the backyard of Philadelphia, a powerhouse city in its own right. Something that always made sense, with New York being the financial center of the world and Hoboken, New Jersey being located just 4 miles outside NYC, allowing New Jersey to start where it left off as a powerful, growing state with a significant population and economic base. But it's also turned Jersey into this disorganized patchwork of a few relatively small tentpole cities, surrounded by a sea of small towns, townships, and near-endless suburban sprawl. And with the vast majority of statewide dollars being located here in the lucrative New York-New Jersey corridor. That's how a state with the population and prosperity of a New Jersey got so overwhelmingly stratified, having the nation's highest population density with 1,308 people for every square mile, but a geography that deeply favors neighboring states, while a whopping 564 different municipalities stretch across its limited landmass, with New Jersey being America's 5th smallest state, despite it having the nation's 10th largest economy and 11th largest population. But with that density and those dollars disproportionately favoring the areas near this border, where high-income residents see significant returns on what they pay into their community while being separated from nearby struggles, with places like Camden, and really this whole area around it, located across from the state's other big city border town of Philadelphia, where manufacturing strongholds have turned into unsettling holdovers, as wealthy states with high inequity often invest statewide funds into the places where their bread is buttered. And in New Jersey, the bread is buttered here alongside the NYC border. So while I'd like to focus on how Camden and other low-income Jersey cities have really worked hard at making real progress in recent years, I can't, because a state as safe and prosperous as New Jersey, with some of the nation's best schools and services, to also have the levels of failure and pain that exist in the old industrial core. Well, it's not just unreasonable, it also speaks to how New Jersey is far too fragmented for a state of its size, and how that fragmentation means little for regional success and modern planning, with far too many communities there being left behind. But that's also due to New Jersey being a state built, or should I say rebuilt, for commuters, with a staggering 94% of the state being considered urban only because it's made up of widespread suburban sprawl. When New Jersey isn't home to a single city capable of supporting its suburban economy. Newark, the biggest city in the state, is smaller than a Louisville, Kentucky or a Tulsa, Oklahoma, while Omaha, Nebraska's biggest city, is nearly 150% its size. As you can see, Newark ranks first with just 305,000 residents, while Jersey City is a close second, and Paterson, Lakewood, and Elizabeth are all well below 200,000. But with New Jersey being North America's most suburban state, its overall story has little to do with its few medium cities, as almost everything there is based on these 4 geographic regions. North Jersey is the wealthiest region of the state, with an economy that runs mostly off New York City commuters, even as it's also home to 4 of the state's 5 biggest cities. something that only makes sense when you consider that at least a tenth of the state's income is earned in New York City, making North Jersey the wealthiest portion of the state. Central Jersey is a bit of the same, also being a suburban area, but it functions more as an exurb, and Central Jersey is heavily boosted by the state's capital in Trenton and the city of Princeton, which is home to the Ivy League University of Princeton, with all 5 of the state's wealthiest counties being located in North or Central Jersey today. South Jersey is much different, being the region eroded by New Jersey's agricultural and manufacturing roots. Jersey Shore, the final and perhaps most notable region of the state, feels like a completely different place altogether, famous in the media and for its vibrant seasonal economy with big popular beaches and more tourism than the rest of the state combined. But perhaps the biggest thing about suburbia in general, and for New Jersey specifically, is its overwhelmingly expensive nature. That and all of the malls, more malls per capita than anywhere else in the US, few significant industries, New Jersey has 13 Fortune 500s and it's dropping, or maybe I have it all wrong, as Jersey is a culturally important state with excellent infrastructure, a growing major population, and unique geography capable of turning NYC and Philly workers into lifelong residents while boasting fun cities and thriving coastal communities. What do you think?